Okay, I was a little bit skeptical with this one, considering that it's the first DCEU movie after the announcement that James Gunn is going to be rebooting the franchise, but overall, I've been looking forward to this one. Let's look into Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Come on, show the movie! Hey, down in front! 9!
So Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the sequel to the first Shazam movie, and it's the new DCEU movie. So Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the sequel to the first Shazam movie, and we follow Billy Batson, who is taking on the monocle of Shazam, who, him and the Shazam family are well-established superheroes in Philadelphia, but however, the Sisters of Atlas are invading the Earth, and pretty much it's up to the Shazam family to figure out what they are planning. Okay, first of all, I've got to say, I still love Zachary Levi as Shazam. Like, he's really got great chemistry as Shazam. Like, being a superhero, but also playing technically a teenager, you know, Billy Batson, who is basically a kid trapped in a superhero body. I just absolutely love it. Also, I gotta tell you, the new suit, like design, I just absolutely love the new suit design. Like, it just looks a lot more leaner. It does look pretty clean, and also it just adds a bit more detail into it, but it's like different compared to the first one. Obviously, there was a lot of controversy around the first one when people found leaked photos and footage of the original Shazam costume, but this version is actually pretty decent, and I really love the look of it. Although there is a scene, though, where they do flash back to the first movie, and you can tell that they reshot it with the new suit rather than the original suit from the first movie, and I mean, it's pretty much, there's a reason why, but I felt like it kind of wasn't necessary because we know what the first suit looks like. Here's the thing about the Shazam movie. Like, I love the first Shazam movie. It just has so much heart into it, and it was a great introduction of Shazam solo movie. But however, in this movie, it does kind of feel like a generic sequel, type of movie that has like generic villains in it, and also, yeah, it just does have that feel to it. Now look, don't get me wrong, like the movie's actually really decent to watch. Like honestly, I felt like I wasn't bored watching it. Like I quite enjoyed some of the moments that were happening in this movie, and particularly as well with the Shazam family and Shazam himself. Like I actually did find it very entertaining, and I did enjoy the third act of the movie. I find the third act in this movie better than the first one, but that's just my personal opinion. Now with the villains in this, Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren playing the Sisters of Atlas, now they do feel like generic, like villains for a superhero sequel. Now, they do feel a bit more menacing, and also they do feel more powerful than Dr. Sivana in the first Shazam movie. But in this one, I do like the additions of Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren involved in this movie, particularly playing the Sisters of Atlas. But yeah, you just kind of get those vibes where it does feel like that, like they're pretty much like basic villains in this one. Like they do have some pretty interesting powers and all that, but yeah, they just don't really feel as threatening as they should be. But I do love the additions of Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren in the movie. Now, the things that I do love about this movie, I love that they're still carrying over the horror themes from the first movie to this one. In fact, I feel like the themes of the horror elements in this movie actually were a bit more improved compared to the first one. Now, for those who know, David F. Sandberg did direct a couple of Annabelle movies, and he's known for horror, and he made the first Shazam movie. So it's pretty cool that he's still carrying over those horror themes into this movie. Now, also, the actor who plays Billy Batson in this movie, now, he is in it, but he's not in it as much as Billy Batson like in the first movie. So it does feel like he's kind of missing in it a bit, but overall, like, I feel like Zachary Levi has a bit more scenes in this one compared to the first one. Even though, like, both Billy Batson and Shazam counterparts are pretty equal in the first movie, yeah, in this one you get more of the superhero alter ego more than the normal Billy Batson that you normally see. Now, like I said as well, another thing about this movie as well, while I am watching the movie, yeah, you do get those feelings that, yeah, it's just kind of like a regular sequel. Now, like I said, like there are moments in it that I do enjoy in this movie, and also I was entertained with it. Like I wasn't bored or anything like that, but it kind of is distracting when you do see that, like it's kind of got that sequelitis, when you get with movies. Like, I mean, it just doesn't really capture the magic like the first one did. Because the first one has a lot of heart and a lot of emotions, where in this one, yeah, it kind of feels like some of that's a bit absent. But although with the negativity around this movie, I do love the return of the Shazam family though. Like honestly, like the Shazam family, especially in their superhero counterparts, I absolutely love it when you get more screen time with them. And to be honest, like in the first movie, it was amazing that they kept that secret, and now they're more involved in this sequel as well. Now that's the thing about this movie as well, there are also other surprises and other details in this movie, but however, with the announcement that James Gunn is going to be rebooting the DC franchise, now it's not entirely sure what's going to be happening with Shazam, or if there is going to be a future for Shazam. But overall, I do love that. I am kind of satisfied that it seems like they are opening sort of like a possibility for Shazam to enter this new reboot series. Now, there are some hidden details, references, and also other scenes that can help carry over into this new world. But however, I do want to say that in my spoiler talk, so be on the lookout for that. Now, there is another running theme in this as well. So like in the first movie, there was a theme about Billy trying to belong in the first movie when he comes along the family that we all know and love in the Shazam first movie. But in this one now, it sort of seems that Billy Batson kind of has a bit of separation issues in this one, which I do like, and they do carry it over sort of like that issue into this movie. But it's also not really touched upon as much as like the themes in the first movie. Like you sort of see it in like the first act, but then you kind of really forget about it like after the second, after around like the second act. So it is kind of a shame that they didn't sort of keep carrying that along. Now they're still kind of in there, but it's just only bits and pieces of it kind of. Now, overall with this movie, yeah, it kind of does feel like that generic superhero sequel, but overall, I was not bored or couldn't really find issues where it's not going to stop me from watching this movie again. Now, I do love the first Shazam movie, and I did find this movie fairly entertaining watching this movie, but with the distractions of, you know, those like typical cliches of it being a sequel just because there needs to be a sequel, yeah, it does feel a bit distracting. Now, I do wish the villains were, you know, a little bit had a little bit more play into it. They kind of felt a little bit generic, but I do love the additions of Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren involved in this movie. I love the returning cast as well of the Shazam family and Zachary Levi reprising his role as Shazam. And for this movie, I do feel like it's a movie you guys will like, but it's also a movie that I'll probably watch every now and then. So what did you guys think of Shazam! Fury of the Gods? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow my socials up here as well. And as always, as I say at the end of these videos, get me some goddamn M&Ms.
Miss Hoover, the movie's over.
Down in front.